I feel it's been a little while since we talked about beautiful homes. As you know, I'm Swedish and I live in Copenhagen, and I'm surrounded by Scandinavian design. In this video, I wanted to show you a few Scandinavian homes that I find beautiful and super inspiring. In the video from last week, I told you I had been on the countryside outside of Copenhagen in this summer house, and that I really enjoyed the style of the home and also the architecture. And I wanted to start off by showing you a couple of photos from that house. When we entered, we had the bathroom directly to the right, and then you entered into a big room and you had still a small but master bedroom, and then two smaller bedrooms with these bunk beds. And we had a quite high ceiling, and we were surrounded by nature. The ocean was like 1 minute away. Something I really like about Danish homes is that you often find very classic design pieces, like Danish design pieces. And Denmark is known, especially Copenhagen, I feel like everyone here is an architect or a dancer. I feel they are very creative here, and that they, like the city really encourages people that are into art to continue doing art. And I feel there's a lot of like scholarships and funds and things that you can apply to if you are a creative living in Copenhagen. And I feel this is something that also you can see in Scandinavian homes or in Copenhagen homes and Danish homes. So I found it so nice to be in this Danish summer house on the countryside and see that they had some classic design pieces that just looked so right in that atmosphere, in that home, in that setting, and that I guess have been there for many years. I found that to be super inspiring, and also the architecture of this house was so beautiful. I'm also super inspired to build a house with a shower completely in wood. That would be super cool. Or maybe not the floor, but have like wood paneling in the shower. I think that would be pretty cool actually. This home is a home but also a retreat. And I know that you can go there as a couple, or you can go there with your workplace and have like a small conference there. From what I can tell, I haven't been here in person, but from what I can tell, it's absolutely amazing. And this place is called Rörbäck Forest Retreat. And I don't think they have shared publicly their location. I have read before that they share the location with you if you book a stay there. So it's also a little secretive, but I think it's also because the people running this place, it's also their home. At Rörbäck they have this greenhouse with very high ceilings and tall windows, and it looks so bright and airy and very, very beautiful. And wood gives you a very warm feeling. Here in Scandinavia, the wood that grows here is naturally more light. And it kind of darkens and gets more yellow orangey with time. And this is something that I think a lot of people don't really like. So we usually use, I don't know if there is like an English word, but we call it såpa on our floors to make them look more pale. And I think this is a very long tradition, and that's probably why you can see a lot of very pale and light woods in Scandinavian homes. But I really like this warmer feeling that you can see that Rörbäck has. It's a lot of wood and it looks absolutely stunning. This couple also looks so beautiful and super cool, and that is goals for me when I am older. When my husband and I bought a piece of land in Sweden, which we still haven't gotten around to build a house on, but hopefully that will happen soon. I was super inspired by this home, and I wanted something similar, like a lot of wood and a lot of light and big windows. And there are ways where you can make it look more modern, but I also like that it looks very like traditional Scandinavian countryside modern. Summer houses are obviously just the best, and I wish that I one day in my life will have my own summer house where I can go and invite family to and just have it as my sanctuary. This home belongs to Mark Eised. He's a writer, he writes about architecture, he has hosted a lot of TV shows, and he has a column about architecture, and he's often out in the debate in Sweden talking about buildings and architecture. And this is his home here in Copenhagen. I have actually met him not too long ago, or maybe it was like 1 or 2 years ago. We were out walking and we met him and his wife on the street, and we talked a little bit with them, and they were very lovely. She's Danish and he's Swedish and British, and they have lived in Stockholm for many years, but they are now living in Copenhagen. A lot of the things that he says and writes about Copenhagen versus Stockholm I can resonate with, like how we think and see architecture, and also like a lot of his thoughts on beauty and who deserves to be surrounded by beautiful buildings and those kind of things. I think it's super interesting to hear him talk about this. His apartment is gorgeous, but I have never seen his home before. This is the first time, and I was actually imagining that it would be a little bit weirder, but it looks very standard, but not in a bad way. It looks very cozy and homey. The first thing that I adore about this apartment is this kitchen space. The countertop and the cabinets are in this brushed steel that is amazing, and I think it looks so good when the rest is very like old and traditional and wood and a lot of natural materials. It's so nice to bring in those kind of more industrial and harsh materials. My husband used to work as a chef, and he's always dreamt of having kind of a restaurant kitchen in our apartment, and his dream is to have a kitchen where you can kind of just like throw a bunch of water and clean the space super easily as you can in a restaurant kitchen. I don't think that's gonna happen, at least not in this building, but maybe if we build a summer house we can make something more restaurant kitchen-like. I really like that the top cabinets are not that deep, because in Copenhagen a lot of the kitchens are quite small, and obviously you can kind of do some remodeling, but our kitchen is quite small here and it's beautiful, and we have a window, and we have also the traditional staircase going to the backyard. This is something that you see in most old buildings here in Copenhagen. It's not as common in Stockholm. I really like having this very Copenhagen kitchen, but it can also be a little cluttered because it's small, and it can also look a little dark if you have a lot of cabinets. In our kitchen, the person living here before removed the cabinets. We no longer have them, and we have 2 open shelves which look beautiful but also can be quite messy because we can't really fit all of our plates and all of our foods and stuff. You have more space if you have like some kind of more shelves, or if you have some kind of cabinet. I like that they are quite shallow, these cabinets, and that means that the light coming in from the window won't be blocked. This is something that I would love to do in our kitchen. I think it's super expensive to have something custom made for your kitchen, so it's probably not gonna happen, but one can dream. As I mentioned, the wood that we have here in Scandinavia is quite light and kind of gets this yellow orangey tone after some time, and I like that they haven't covered that and that they just go with that, because it's quite common that we paint our furniture, and I am not a super big fan of this orange looking wood, but I think it looks so good here with the desk in this wood, and then also the floor, the hardwood floor. I think it's cool. Obviously they have a lot of juicy art, and we have a little bit of art, and we have We have some art that are posters and prints. We have some art that is photography that I've done. We have some paintings my husband has done. So we have a lot of our own art and some photos from when we were kids and everything mixed in together. And that is also a way to have nice art on your walls if you can't buy expensive, cool art yet. One of the most beautiful places in Sweden is Gotland. It's this amazing island. I've been there a few times as a kid and as an adult too, and it just blows my mind every time because it's so rustic. Gotland just has this amazing landscape and it's very architectural and it looks amazing, and I totally understand all rich and creative Swedes buying a cool summer house there. They also have a very specific accent that has been kept more, at least this is what they say, that it sounds more like old Swedish because they have been a little bit more isolated living on an island. There are amazing houses in Gotland. Some of them are very humble, some of them are quite luxurious, but they usually have more stone facades, and they have this specific stone that you can find on Gotland. So I like when houses are built from materials from its original space. I think we should do that more rather than import marble from Italy if you don't live in Italy. When I think of Gotland, I always think about these very pale blue hues and also like a worn gray color, and I think it's because it feels very, I think it looks very much like the landscape, and I like when that is also in the houses, that you can kind of see the house melt into the landscape. There's nothing as cozy as a windowsill where you can sit and read a book. I've been dreaming of having this. I actually think I could create this in my home, but I haven't gotten around to do that. But that's a dream, to kind of be able to curl up and read a book and look out the window. I think that would be so cozy. And here they also have these sheepskin that are very traditional for Gotland. These stone walls in this house look so good. They kind of look very soft. They have this very organic shape to them, and the pattern is like interesting. It reflects a lot of light because it's white, but it's still like something is happening. I think it's amazing. Here's a nice detail. I like when you kind of create a little shelf into the wall. I think it's cute. And I also like when they are a little weird, if they are kind of small and you just have like a tiny little thing, a little decor piece or a super tiny little painting. I think that's fun when you have like quirky details. Look at this dark wood combined with this warm yellow. It's so nice. Another famous person when it comes to home decor and interior in Sweden is Marie Olsson Nylander. She had this TV show where they bought a house in Sicily and they renovated it, her and her husband and their kids. I think they have like 4 kids. And it was just amazing, and I am so jealous that they have the possibility to do this, and I am also so inspired by them. I think it's super interesting to see people that not always have everything going in their favor, but they still do things. Marie has been open about her battling cancer, and I think she's all healthy now. This home is fun because this is in Sweden, this is in south of Sweden, and it doesn't look like that. And I think that is super fun. And a lot of the things in this home are not things that I would ever have in my home, but I love them. I actually think these curtains are super ugly, but I just really love that she has them and how she has kind of put the pieces together. This is not a traditional Scandinavian home, like this is not the aesthetic you see in a lot of Scandinavian homes, and that's why I love it. I think it's nice when people are bold and doing something very differently and kind of mixing styles. I think this is my main issue with a lot of homes, at least in Stockholm, that they are only one style. Everything looks like it could come from a catalog, from like a furniture company from 1 year only, or like 2 years maximum. I like when you have older things and things in different styles, when you kind of mix Art Deco with something super modern and so on, and you kind of build your own style from that. She has lived in many different places, they have lived in many different places, and I think you can see that in this home. Look at this couch, isn't it amazing? I would never combine this couch with a ceiling lamp. I think the ceiling lamp is super ugly, but I really love the combination here again, and I'm very much into brown and brown couches, and I think this is beautiful. And the walls are so interesting, and together with this one color on the ceiling that is unexpected, I think this is just gorgeous. I might also put up a big photo of myself in my apartment. Maybe I should put up like a nice self-portrait. This used to be a call center, but obviously it doesn't look like that now. It just looks amazing. And I like how they didn't finish painting the wall, but they just started decorating the home instead. And it looks super cozy and homey. And I would love to see this place in reality, but I would also love to have a home that is that allowing, that it doesn't have to be perfect or finished. This last home that I wanted to show you is located in Palma, so it's not in Sweden, but it is decorated by a Scandinavian, and I thought it was too fun to not show you this. And it's very, very different from the architecture and the homes that we see in Sweden, but I thought it was super fun. So obviously Scandinavians also enjoy other things than just plain beige minimalism. I'm always myself debating whether I wanna have more things in my home or more storage or less things, and I think there is a balance, because I don't like having and owning a lot of things, and I often feel that I want to get rid of things, but then I also have certain things that I need to have. A lot of fabrics, a lot of scissors and stuff for my sewing projects, and some things for my everyday life. And I'm always like torn between, like, should I get rid of more things or should I just get more storage? I don't know how you feel about this. Like, what would you do? Where is the limit? Like, how do you know if you need more storage or if you need to get rid of things? Does someone have the perfect answer for this? I would love to know. This room looks super airy, but it's still a little too cluttered for me, but it still doesn't feel cramped. I think it's super cool. Have you seen a beautiful Scandinavian home that you think that I should see? Please share a link or let me know where I can find it, or describe it for me. I would love to know what you think is beautiful. If you liked this video, it would help me immensely as a small content creator if you liked the video. That will tell YouTube that it was a good video. So if you think it was a good video, please let me know that by clicking the thumbs up. I hope to see you soon. Take care.